Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ruffino's Italian Restaurant. Larry Matson here with you with another edition of Sports Scene Live. And we are doing the show this week at Ruffino's, and I wanted to mention that because they have a Sunday brunch. We're taping on Sundays. They've got a special Sunday brunch features here that are really outstanding. A great place to party, great place to plan your holiday season right here, and just really one of the better restaurants in town, no question about that. And Ruffin Rodrigue owns the restaurant now. It used to be DiNardo's. You may remember it. It's on Highland Road between I-10 and Airline, and Ruffin Rodrigue played at LSU. His father played at LSU, and a quick note on that, his father was all SEC and played when Joe Namath and Steve Spurrier were all SEC, and my old friend Tucker Frederickson, who was the #1 draft choice in the NFL that year, played at Auburn. The interesting point is that they have a beautiful portrait in the main dining room here that shows Ruffin Rodrigue number 68, and in the same picture, it's a picture of number 51, his father. So it's a father-son duo there. It's pretty cool. They also have pictures all around the restaurant of some of the famous celebrities that have dinner here and have eaten here. And one picture shows Ruffin with Jimmy Taylor and Billy Cannon, who had played in the same backfield one year. And of course, they both passed away most recently. And we wanted to talk about that. But at any rate, it's a great place to come eat. Now, to tell you what we have, we've got the players of the week. We've got the three coaches to talk about the upcoming rivalry game and the possibility of playoffs as well. A lot to talk about, a lot in this show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Brubacher's Grill at 909 East Ascension Street in Gonzales, where good food and good friends come together. Offering a casual, fun atmosphere with a menu selection to satisfy the whole family. From pizzas, burgers, and po' boys to steaks, seafood, and salads with daily lunch specials and a whole lot more. Bring the whole family or meet friends on the deck. There's fun and entertainment for all. Make Brubacher's your next stop for lunch or dinner. And check out the other 5 locations in Baton Rouge. Taste the great tradition at Brubacher's Grill, where some things only get better.
A&M Heating and Air Conditioning has been locally owned and operated by Tony Arsenault since 1988. They have an honest reputation based on sound advice and great service. Call A&M Heating and Air Conditioning today for all of your service needs. Bertrand's Pharmacy has been providing personal medication counseling for over 30 years. Andy and Jeannie Bertrand, registered pharmacists, honor many prescription plans. Bertrand's is open Monday through Saturday. Phone 644-5641. Bro Welding and Industrial Supply prides themselves on same-day delivery. Customer service is our #1 priority. They deliver on time, every time. Bro Company, serving the area for over 30 years. On the web at broco.com. See Foti Financial Services for all your money needs. They have loans for any worthwhile purpose. Auto, furniture, appliance, home improvement, and vacation loans. Celebrating over 50 years of service, Foti Financial Services. Hebert Steel Incorporated, Gonzales and Baton Rouge, offers structural steel fabrication. Hebert Steel is a proud supporter of all high school sports in this area. Phone 644-5316 or 291-2144. Got computer problems? Does your computer have a virus? Give us a shot at fixing your computer. Pico Computers has years of experience. Pico will have you up and running in no time. Call today, 647-8882.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ruffino's Restaurant here, where you're ready to talk Dutchtown football with head coach Guy Mistretta. 4-5 on the year, 1-3 in district. Lost to Catholic last weekend. From the first play, 67-yard touchdown. It had to be a little, I guess, upsetting to see that happen right off the bat.
It's frustrating because defense has been so good for us all year, and just got out of position. Going in, they do a whole lot formation-wise. They try to outflank you, try to get you out of gaps, and we had a breakdown right there. So you're down in the hole right off the bat. I thought after that our kids really fought and played well throughout the first half. Most of the first half. We were 17 down with about 2 minutes left and gave up 2 back-to-back scores to really just open it up. And after that, it's really difficult.
I guess it was frustrating to see that they were able to run the ball so well against you, right?
It definitely. And again, that's something that we've done really, really well throughout the year. And we'll get back to it. For one, Catholic High is a really good team this year.
Yeah, they are.
They got a lot of veteran kids, a lot back from that team they had last year that won a state championship. So it's tough to go against them, and that's what we talked about during the week. We really have to play a clean game to go against someone like that.
Yeah,
so
they
you
swept
can't
through the parish. They won all 3 games against
you know,
the parish team.
but it's the same thing with the other teams. You know, it's all of a sudden they hit you really quick, and you get in a hole, and now when you start pressing to come back, it creates more issues.
You had a big play with Dylan Sampson, goes 80 yards for a touchdown and runs for 130 in the game.
Let me tell you what, he's a freshman. He probably had 8 or 9 Catholic High defenders touched him on that play.
Wow.
And it's just
A Billy Cannon run.
well, it's just that it's what we're looking for from a competitive standpoint. Just never give up, keep fighting, keep churning, and great play for a great young man. And we're looking forward to some great things from him.
You get 130 yards against a Catholic defense, you've got to do something right, and blocking wise and running wise.
Yeah, you know, I'm tell you, and it's hard to say we only scored 7 points, but offensively, we really did some good things. We had a lot of times where we had numbers on them, and one guy would beat us at a point of attack. We had Dre Monroe played a really good game for us at quarterback. May have been his best game so far, and there was 4 different times where we had receivers drop balls on a 3rd down where it would have been a conversion, keep the drive going, and keep that Catholic High defense on the sidelines of that offense.
Of course, Catholic High is the class of the district with an unbeaten record in district play, and like I said, they swept through all 3 teams against the Ascension Parish teams. What can you take from that you can learn from that maybe when you play them next year, you know what they did? Well, you knew from last year what they did and what to do this year. Can you take things like that and help you build toward beating them in the future?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just building the program. You know, it's we only started 4 seniors Friday night, so we have 18 guys that started against them this year that will be back next year.
And they've had the experience of playing against them, so that's
correct, and that's big. You know, throughout the year, this is one of those years. We came into the season knowing we were going to be a young team, inexperienced. You hope to work your way out of that. This year, the injury bug has gotten us. That's not an excuse. That's just part of it. You have years like that. I've had them before. Well, we're fighting through that now, and it's difficult during the season you're in. But if you handle it right and you keep the kids looking at the big picture, it can be really beneficial to the program moving forward. You know, we've started 42 different players this year out of 22 positions. Of those 42 starters, 26 of them are underclassmen. So when if you learn from your mistakes and you keep building off of it, it can be beneficial to the future.
All right, the future now is McKinley. That's the next game up.
Absolutely.
And that's a big one for you because that one can determine whether you maybe make the playoffs or not make the playoffs. You're in the playoff mode almost right now.
That's the way we're looking at it. There's an outside chance that we could get in even dropping this, but that's not in our vocabulary this week. It's to us, this is our first playoff game because once you're in the playoffs, it's win and you keep playing. And that's what we feel like this week. We've got to win this ball game to play next week. We play them on a Thursday night, which I love playing Thursday night games. I expect Griffin Stadium to really be rocking, and we're excited about it, and we plan to have some really good practices leading up to it.
And McKinley's had their moments this year. They've played some very tough football at times.
You know, they went through the deal with the LHSA sanctions earlier, which really kind of messed up the whole continuity, I guess. But you look at the players they have. They've got weapons. They've got some really big physical guys. So we're going to have to play really well because they can hurt you. And they're not allowed to play in the playoffs this year. So they know this is their last football game of the year. I'm sure that they're going to come out and really play with that type of attitude.
Coach Signator had mentioned after his loss to EA that he wanted his seniors to go out on a happy note, and that's this game coming up to go out with a win. So they're going to really be pushing hard for their seniors.
We would expect their best and would want nothing more, nothing less. We will be excited to play good Thursday.
The game is at home, this one?
It is.
So talk about that a little bit, about what you talk about Griffin Stadium going to be be pretty well packed up, and it should be exciting. And when you have the playoffs on the line, that's got to add a lot to the fans coming to the game.
It does, and I hope they understand that. It'll be. We had our senior night for the football team a couple weeks ago. Senior night for all of our spirit groups, our cheerleaders and the band. That'll be on Thursday night, so hopefully we get a big crowd from that. And hopefully our students keep doing what they're doing. We've been really impressed with those kids.
You went into the game with Catholic being 29th, and you know the top 32 make it. You dropped that game, but now if you win this one, you might come right back up into the upper 20s again.
Well, as of today, we're still at 29.
Okay.
And that has to do with the opponent that you played. The better the opponent,
right,
the better your power points. So we're at 29 today. If we can beat these guys on Thursday, we feel like we can get up to about 25, which means you're playing like a number 8 seed. So that's what you're playing for this week.
I'd like you to comment a little bit about that, about how that works. Do you like the format of the power rankings? In other words, it's not just wins and losses. It's who you play and when you play and that type of thing.
Right. I love the PowerPoints. It's back in the day, you knew ahead of time this district was combined with this district, champion versus runner-up, all that stuff. Now it's strictly based on performance. All of your, depending on the caliber of your opponent, you get more points by their wins, and then you get points for your wins. So I think it's very fair. I think it really spreads things out. So again, all we care about is trying to win this ball game and get the best seed we can.
Catholic goes on to their own division once the playoffs start too. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. We can sit here all day. I've got strong emotions and feelings about that, having coached both private and public schools. Again, we don't have near enough time today to discuss that.
Pluses and minuses both ways.
Absolutely, and I don't think either side truly understands what the other one goes through and the challenge. Everybody has crosses to bear. It's hard to see what the other guy does.
Well, we're looking forward to a victory over McKinley and not, taking anything away from McKinley or knocking them, but we look for the Ascension Parish schools to do well, and we certainly would like to see a victory and a playoff berth for you.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it, and I hope everybody in Ascension Parish has a good week this week. And by the way, Ascension Catholic, how about those Bulldogs?
Yeah, they're doing good.
Big win last week.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, thanks a lot. We've got Players of the Week, a lot more coming up. Stay with us. We're right here at Rufino's.
We're here today at Dutchtown High School to do our Player of the Week award, and our corporate sponsor for the Offensive Player of the Week is Galvez Seafood Company. Our plaque sponsor is Carlico Cafe. This week, Blayton Lewis receives the award. You rushed for 2 touchdowns and helping defeat Broadmoor.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about it. What transpired in the game?
It was just mainly come out there, have a good, attitude, show everybody, that I'm capable of, rushing for 2 touchdowns and trying to be the best player out there and, carrying my team for the win.
There you go. And also our Defensive Player of the Week, our corporate sponsor for the defensive player is Galvez Seafood Company. Our plaque sponsor is Carlico Cafe. And Jerron Blakes receives the award. Tell us about the game and what kind of game you had.
It's just I tried my best to support our defense and play to the best of my ability and go out there every play and give it all I got.
All right, congratulations to our Players of the Week.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Marchand's Interior and Hardware Specialist. You got it made.
Come into our showroom and let our experts guide you through our large selection of today's latest trends. Marchand's flooring and countertop collections offer these styles with unbelievable prices. And at Marchand's, we install it all. Come in to see all of the promotions and specials going on now.
With Marchand's Interior and Hardware Specialist, you got it made.
Welcome to Premier Lanes Entertainment Center. Have the ultimate birthday party and have it catered. Book your private party in the Ascension Zone. Bring the whole family for fun and games at Action Alley Arcade. Enjoy Spin Zone bumper cars and laser maze. Visit the famous Ball Wall Cafe, including our Slammin' Ball Wall Pizza. Ask about the upcoming league bowling. Premier Lanes Entertainment Center, 1414 Airline Highway, Gonzales. Book your party now. Call 621-BOWL. Bruyette's Automotive Paint and Body are collision repair specialists. Their certified trained technicians offer state-of-the-art repair. They offer free estimates and all insurance claims are welcome. Bruyette's Automotive Paint and Body. Selling your home? Rick Gotro with Realty Executives in Prairieville can do a comparative market analysis to properly value your home before it goes on the market. Call Ricky today, 715-7256. Automotive repairs? We've got you covered. And Sanama Muffler and Brake Service. See us for CV shaft work, brakes, tune-ups, air conditioner, tires, and diagnostics. Tires convenient locations.
Pedrine's Portable Buildings invites you to visit their new location on the Airline Highway in Prairieville. Pedrine's offers free estimates, free delivery in surrounding areas, and setup. We do workshops, outdoor kitchens, even snowball stands. Pedrine's Portable Buildings. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Here at Ruffino's, Larry Matson with you, and we've got David Oliver, Coach O, to talk about Sanama football, beating up on Baltimore 49-8 at the Pit. And what a game KJ Franklin had, huh?
Well, he did. He had a great game. He had 5 total touchdowns. He had 3 receiving and 2 rushing. He's just a very versatile two-way player. You know, he did the same things on defense last year, and we're asking him to play a bunch more offense, and he's coming through for us big time.
Had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Yeah, he started off hot, and I tell you, everyone talks about scoring touchdowns as an offensive thing, but really it's a team thing. Our special teams was getting us great field position. Our defense has just been playing tremendous really all year long with giving us short fields to work with. So, that's how you score a lot of points is you play great special teams and great defense.
Your defense held their team totally to less than 100 yards overall. That's incredible.
It was another great performance. Those guys are playing solid, and the defensive line stands out on a weekly basis. The secondary consistently makes plays, and that's nice to be able to be in every game that you're in because of good defense.
And your special teams, all 3 facets.
Yep, they're all playing well right now.
Offensively, you had 317 yards rushing, 105 yards passing. Of course, you didn't have to pass that much, and with 300 yards on the ground. So it was a good team win. It was a 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. So it was, you pretty well put away early. 49-8 was the final, and now it's. I don't want to get into it too early here because I've got a time frame to do the interview. But with that victory, you put yourself in a pretty good position for the end of the year here.
Yeah, we still have a lot of things to work for. One of our goals is a winning season. We accomplished that a few weeks ago. Another thing we shoot for regularly is the Ascension Parish Championship. So we beat Dutchtown, and EA also beat Dutchtown. So obviously, whoever wins this game can stake that mythical claim. But that means a lot to our community and the kids to be able to win that. And besides the fact that that's our biggest rival. That's always a big game. Another goal we have is to have a home playoff game every year. And, right now we're sitting, depending on where you look, anywhere between, 12 and 14. So, it looks like that's a game that we're going to have to win to ensure that we stay at home.
I didn't want to get into it too early, but I guess we have to. The rivalry game is this week, and it's the shout-out week. I mean, there's a lot of activity all week long from the first day of the week to the end. It's going to be something happening every day.
Yeah, our booster clubs and communities do a tremendous job. They start out Monday with that golf tournament, and that raises a lot of money for both schools. And then they do the jambalaya sale on Thursday, and then there's the group pep rally where they, have it at the Lamar Dixon Center where they play a few songs and do some cheers and scream real loud, and then that stuff's all very nice and stuff. But what really matters is that game on Friday, that 48 minutes. That's what's important, and that's at EA for the first time in a couple years. So I'm sure they're excited to have it at our place. So we're really going to have to play a good football to and manage the game well.
And something that goes by a lot of times with the fans and not realizing this at the school, but they have Frisbee contests, they have flag football contests. You've got a lot of activities for fundraisers all week long.
Yeah, there is. It's and they've done a great job. I think James LeBlanc said the number was like 168,000 per school over the the last 10 years since they brought it back. And that's just that's income that goes right back to the student athletes at both schools. So you give them back to the community, and it's a great community event. And EA, we have a good partnership with them. It's kind of like playing racquetball with your brother. I mean, you want to beat him as bad as you possibly can while you're playing, but then you go home and eat dinner together, So it's one of those kind of rivalries, and, everyone wants to win, but at the end of the day, we're for Ascension Parish.
Well, I think that's what's interesting, that the Booster Club president for Santa Ma is an EA graduate. That kind of tells you.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's husbands that go to Santa Ma and wives that go to EA, and so there's families that the parents went to Santa Ma and the kids go to EA or vice versa. So it's a pretty spicy rivalry, and there's a lot of interest in it.
You have become the second winningest coach in the history of the school. You got to feel pretty proud about that this year, for accomplishing that.
Yeah, and that's just a testament to our administration supporting us, and continuity on our coaching staff is important. There's a handful of those guys that have been here since day one. Both offensive coordinator Seth Babin and defensive coordinator, head strength and conditioning coach Dwayne Thomasy. They stick out as those guys. Kenny Guidry, former team captain, that those guys have been here since day one. Our freshman coach Troy Tomplay, and so I just think continuity is the key to success in these programs, and the administrators allowing us to hire coaches in the building, and just a ton of really good football players has what's created that.
What about the future of some of the players you have that are seniors, that college prospects? Have some signed? I know, well, not signed, but have some totally committed, or are there some still out there looking to commit, or what?
No, they're still, I think they're in the decision-making process. Probably the main two you're talking about is Johnny Johnson has, a few service academy offers, and I think he's been offered by pretty much everyone in the Southland Conference, McNeese, Nicholls State, Southeastern, a bunch of those Texas schools. And then, KJ Franklin is, like I said, he was all Metro last year as a defensive back, and he's playing like the district offensive player of the year in my mind right now, with what he's got almost 500 yards receiving, almost 1,200 yards rushing, and scored 22 touchdowns. And, so he's good both sides of the ball. So he's getting a bunch of offers. He's a Nicholls State guy, and he's got 3 or 4 other offers. I think they're going to wait and let it play out and decide.
What kind of restrictions do you have, or what kind of format do you have for a college recruiter or a scout coming out to your practices or games? I mean, how do head coaches handle that?
They have some NCAA rules that govern what they can do, but basically on our end, they're always welcome at our place, and we'll be as accommodating as we possibly can. We're trying to help our kids, go to the next level, and once they get there, we're trying to support them any way we can so they have success.
So it's easy for them to get a press pass or whatever, and you sit in the press box.
Yeah, they can come to the games and get in free and watch those. They come to practice. We supply them with as much game or highlight tape and transcripts as we can. And
they have to be careful with contact, though. They can't make contact.
Yeah, there's certain times of the year they can, certain times they can't. So, that's an NCAA rule, not ours, and they follow those. And like I said, we've had a good amount of coaches through here, and we got 5 or 6 kids active in college right now that seem to be doing a great job. We got a lineman at LSU, and we got a quarterback at Southern Arkansas and kicker at Southern Miss. So, those guys are sprinkled out there, and we keep in regular touch with them.
The rivalry game is Friday night. It's the EA Santa Ma. It's the big game. And by the way, our rivalry issue will be coming out soon. This is our football preview guide, of course, for Sports Scene, but our rivalry issue is out, and that's going to be a big issue as well. It gives you the history, the background. If you haven't picked one up, you need to find a local outlet, because we've got about 300 locations all over the southeast of Louisiana with that publication. It's got to be exciting for you as a head coach. I don't know if you like going to that shout out or not, but man, that thing gets loud, it gets exciting, and it really revs up the crowd.
It does. I think the shout out's probably more for the community and the other students, than the football guys. I think the football guys on both sides know that what really matters is
Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night, and those are the bragging rights that you want. You know what I mean? You can win as many of those screaming matches and golf tournaments and all that you want, but the conversation ender is Friday night.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that has bragging rights, period.
For a whole year at least, for anyway.
Yeah, and sometimes if they're seniors, kind of linger on forever.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, too. Yeah,
totally, yep.
All right, Coach, well, good luck to you. I'm going to, of course, wish Darnell Lee good luck, too. We're trying to be even Steven here as we can. But we look forward to a really good game and a good rivalry and shake hands when it's all over.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
We are here at Santa Ma High School to present our Offensive Player of the Week. And the Santa Ma Player of the Week corporate sponsor for the offensive player is Galvez Seafood. Our plaque sponsor is Carlico Cafe. This week, Lathan Bourgeois receives the award. Well, Lathan, you accounted for like 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 2 passing. Plus, you ran for 38 yards and completed a few passes too.
Well, yeah, I think we were able to get some things done on offense this week, and we executed our game plan, and the line did their job.
All right, and now on to our Defensive Player of the Week. The Santa Ma Player of the Week sponsor for defense. Our corporate sponsor is Santa Ma Muffler, and our plaque sponsor is Carlico Cafe. This week, Jordan Bennett receives the award. Tell us about some of the things you did in the game.
Well, I feel like I stayed in film this week and knew a few of their plays, so I was able to break on and defend the play well. You know, Coach preached staying in the film room, so that's what I did. It was a good game for the defense.
All right, congratulations on our Players of the Week.
Brubacher's Grill at 909 East Ascension Street in Gonzales, where good food and good friends come together. Offering a casual, fun atmosphere with a menu selection to satisfy the whole family. From pizzas, burgers, and po' boys to steaks, seafood, and salads with daily lunch specials and a whole lot more. Bring the whole family or meet friends on the deck. There's fun and entertainment for all. Make Brubacher's your next stop for lunch or dinner. And check out the other 5 locations in Baton Rouge. Taste a great tradition at Brubacher's Grill, where some things only get better.
Your custom-built dream home is more affordable than ever at Roland Homes. Quality comes first on all our modular and manufactured homes. Roland Homes has a huge inventory in many styles and floor plans. And if we don't have it, we'll custom build it, so you'll find the right home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. New or pre-owned, financing is available. Plus, home improvement and repairs are even easier with Roland Homes parts and accessories now on site for your convenience. All at one location to better serve you. Roland Homes in Prairieville.
Big O Tires is now open in Santa Ma. They offer tires, alignments, brakes, and oil changes. If it's got tires, we've got you covered. Stuck on the road? Call their 24/7 roadside assistance number, 445-3635. Big O Tires in Santa Ma. See Gonzales Military for a big selection of kids' camo and cold weather gear. They carry boots, camo rain gear, rubber boots, headgear, belts, and more. Gonzales Military on Burnside in Gonzales. Acadian Custom Cabinets creates a custom product to your specs. They're professionals that do incredible work that will last for years to come. The owner is hands-on to give you exactly what you want. Acadian Custom Cabinets, Gonzales. Phone 622-6337.
Clogged rain gutters have many damaging effects on your home. Debris will cause your gutter system to fail. Call Ascension Gutters and More. Professional craftsmanship. Over 20 colors to choose from. We do gutter installation and maintenance. Custom-made quality gutters to fit your budget. Custom fit downspouting as well. And customer satisfaction always. Call us at 225-647-0404.
Acadian Custom Cabinets creates a custom product to your specs. They're professionals that do incredible work that will last for years to come. The owner is hands-on to give you exactly what you want. Acadian Custom Cabinets, Gonzales. Phone 622-6337. Ascension Ready Mix supplies concrete for residential, commercial, and industrial clients. They're a locally owned company with locations in Prairieville and Baton Rouge. Ascension Ready Mix. Phone 677-7177.
Back again at Rufino's here, one of the fine restaurants in the area, and we're very happy that Ruffin Rodriguez was kind enough to be our host today for our taping of the show. Darnell Lee joins us now from EA, the head coach that won over McKinley 37-0, and that score really doesn't tell you what went on. Jason Wakefield, the quarterback, had a slow start in this one, and yet y'all came out with a big win.
Yeah, we started off, went over the top a couple of times, and we had some drops. Because Wakefield's been putting that ball on the money, and but gotta give some credit to McKinley. Have some good athletes on the back end, and we came out and tried to put them away early with a couple big plays, and it ended up not working.
Your defense, Mitchell, comes up with 2 interceptions early and ends up with an interception for a pick 6 in the second half. So he had a big game defensively.
Oh yeah, we challenged him before the game, and man, he responded. There was one interception on the sideline. He went up at high pointed with one hand, caught the nose of the football, come down with it. His left hand never touched the ball, and that was a spectacular play.
The newspaper said he did the Odell Beckham catch.
Yeah. And he ended up with 4 picks. He ran one of them back for a touchdown, and then he returned a punt for a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
And he had another return that set us up for a score. So, he had a career night.
So special teams and defense as much as the offense when you win 37-0.
Yeah.
That's a big win and an important win because it keeps you alive in the district and it helps you get prepared for the next one, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But talk about your team going into that game and coming out of that game. How you feel about your team this year?
Coming off of that loss to Catholic, I like I told the guys, we had a meeting with the juniors and seniors Friday morning. I told them, we were knocked down by Catholic, but the bell sounded before we had the 10 count. So I told them we had to answer the bell, and we couldn't get knocked down again this season because pretty much every game is a playoff from here on out. So as far as the season goes, we push our kids hard, and we have an expectation that we set like every coach does, and every week there's been something to work on. I feel like we're peaking at the right time in our special teams. Our kickoff coverage has been better. Punt coverage, Alberto hit I think 3 or 4 field goals the other night, so he's only missed one field goal all season and hadn't missed an extra point all year. So, of course, offensively and defensively, if you give up points, there's always things to improve on. And, offensively, I feel like we can get better in our run game. We made some changes up front. We moved Valapula Alo from center to guard, and we moved our senior Cooper Cody from guard to center, and that fixed our snap problem, and it allowed Pule to play more aggressive. So, we did a few things, added a few wrinkles last week in the run game, and I think we're where we need to be right now.
I asked Coach O a little bit earlier about the seniors he has and how the recruiting is going for them. How about some of your players? Have you had any total commitments yet, or are they still keeping the door open for other options or whatever?
Deshaun Hall verbally committed to Louisiana Tech, but he's received calls from LSU and Wisconsin just last week.
Oh, wow.
Coach Robinson came in from LSU Monday to visit, and he's gonna get some bigger offers. When we stood him up as an outside linebacker, started using him there, that set out an alert, that he can stand up and play. He's not just a defensive lineman, so he's getting some Power 5 looks now. Got about 6 or 7 other guys. Wakefield's been offered. Ahmad Diggs, Jaquan Mitchell, Nick Massey, those guys have offers. Got about 6 or 7 guys right now. Potentially, a kicker Alberto's been getting a lot of interest as of late, so maybe we're looking at possibly between 6 and 8 guys getting scholarships.
They really put a lot of, I guess, credence to a season where you only have a loss and you're winning and all that means. It means a lot to be a winning type football player coming from a winning program.
Yes, sir, and a lot of that's on the head coach, and as far as promoting your players also. I don't sleep. When the season ends, I don't sleep. It's not over. Our goal is to win both district titles and state titles, and the end goal for me is to get as many of our kids to go to the next level, and preferably if football can get their schooling paid for. So, we teach that you use that approach in motivating them in the classroom and on the field.
Yeah, the classroom is so important, and a lot of players let that slip by them too much, and you don't want that to happen.
And it happens a lot. To most of them, it happens in the freshman year, the transition year from junior high to high school. That's where what I call muddy their transcripts with grades that are below C's. Anything below a C drops your GPA, and what's been on block schedules. I tell the guys, if you don't make a D, you have a 2.5. So that's not as hard to do. But some of them get distracted. They start running with the wrong crowds, and and that's where the mentoring from coaches come in.
All right, you've got the big one coming up, the rivalry game Friday night. We've talked about that for a week now, and this is it, the shout-out week, and a lot of activities going on this week, a lot of distractions possibly.
Always distractions. My house was rolled last year, and and I found out there was a couple of my own guys, playing pranks on us. But when you don't win the game, prank's not that funny. So I heard Coach Oliver say it, man. End game for us is Friday night. I mean, we look at the shout out on Thursday night. I mean, it's already tough for us to win it because we're a smaller school. Santa Mar's a 5A, we're 5A, but their enrollment is up a bit. But our kids just come out and they have fun that night, and the community, the faculty, everybody's excited. We decorate our halls and make it a swamp. I mean, it's something to see. If you come over on a Friday morning, you'll check it out. They hide gators, and kids find the gators for money and all of that on Friday morning. So, campus-wide, it's a great week to be a Spartan.
And there's so many activities going on with the golf tournament, with the, we talked about this too, Frisbee tournaments. They have Frisbee games and touch flag football and all that sort of thing. But the big thing is Friday night. That's
Yes,
where it all settles
Yes,
in.
sir.
Tell us about what you see in Santa Monica and what your opponent is going to be like.
I mean, I got to take my hat off to Coach Oliver. What I heard you mention earlier, him being the second all-time winningest coach in the history of the school, he's doing a great job. He gets the most out of his kids, and they always produce great players and great teams. Him and his coaching staff do a great job. For us, we see it as, and I almost have to downplay the actual rivalry side of it, and I guess you say really have our kids focus on the team that's on the field. Because you look at EA and Santa Monica and start talking about the rivalry and the records and who won last year and the year before, whose turn it is to win. And that stuff will get you, that's a distraction, So we tell our kids, look, we're going to check your huddle hours and how much film you're watching during the week. And, we're monitoring them on the halls. I mean, I ride through neighborhoods. And if I see our kids out, I'm knocking on the car, hey, let's go, get some rest. It's that tight week. And, we're like, everybody's playing for something at this point in the game. I mean, we're seated, I think, right now in the non-select, I think 4th or 5th. So we're actually playing, the higher you get, the better when it comes to hosting home games. I mean, I think we're in good shape to have a home game, but, right now we control our own destiny. If we can get a win this Friday, it'll definitely help us out.
The preparation is, I guess you don't have to worry about motivating them for the week. I mean, they're motivated from the day they get to school on Monday morning, aren't they?
It's more about weathering that storm because the rivalry is so, the intensity, the expectation, the anxiety, with all the shout outs and all of that stuff is, and it's that the game is based so much on momentum. I have no doubt if we complete that first ball that we dropped on the first play of the game last year, if we score on that changes the whole game, and even talking to some of the Santa Monica coaches, I mean, they agree because the year before they get a pick six and then it's a rout. The year before that in 2015, Coach Bourgeois last year, we started the game off with a pick six and it was a rout. So it's an emotional game. It's a lot is based on the momentum, and we just want to get it to where we fight through all of that. We come out good. We play hard. We're sound. We're focused, and we're prepared to play 4 quarters.
You were a defensive player when you played. So you look forward to games like this? I mean, where this looks like, to me, it'll be a defensive struggle.
I played both ways.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And, for me, it was just anytime you can get out as a high school athlete and play in front of that many people and in front of a crowd like that, you don't need anybody to get you up to play that game,
Or you shouldn't.
And then half the guys over there, there's some sort of relationship where you cross paths sometime before the game, leading up to it in your lives, and the competition is heavy, and the toughest part is the loser of that game not having a letdown the following week.
Well, yeah, because that's playoff week, yeah.
Well, a winner too, though,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it takes, like we was talking about Coach Van Lambert and talking about the emotional games you have. That's a big-time emotional game to have week 10, and then you go into the playoffs against someone who may not have had that type of game the week before. So it's tough, but, our kids, they're up to it. We're up to it as a coaching staff, and it is an exciting time to be in Ascension Parish.
All right, well, good luck to you, Coach, and hopefully
it.
when the game's over, y'all are able to shake hands and move on to the playoffs.
We will, yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back.
Today we're here at East Ascension High School to present our Offensive Player of the Week. Our corporate sponsor is Galvez Seafood Company, and our plaque sponsor is Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen. Alberto Ontiveros. Did I say your name right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you received the award this week. And tell us a little bit about what you did in the game.
I made a field goal, and that got us the first points on the board, and I kicked a touchback. I did really well.
Now, that was a good game for the first half.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so you had a good game. And also for the Defensive Player of the Week, who is not here today, our corporate sponsor is Sanama Muffler, and our plaque sponsor is Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen. And Kirk, we call him Kirk. That's the way he's listed in the program book. Kirk Kernan receives the award. What do you guys call him?
Cade Kernan.
Cade, okay. It must be his nickname. So congratulations, guys, on winning the Player of the Week. Need paint and body work for your car? Deal with a local body shop that does the job right the first time. Take it to Mark's Body Shop in Sanama. They do top-notch body repairs and painting. Mark's Body Shop. Cajun Mat has mat sales and rentals. Cajun Mat is locally owned and operated by Reggie Sheets. Call Reggie for all of your mat sales or rental needs. 223-7612 or 644-9940. 23rd Judicial District Attorney Ricky Babin wishes all teams in Ascension, Assumption, and St. James parishes good luck this football season. Stay focused and set your sights on getting to the Superdome. When you need prevention or treatment of pests, call Cotton's Pest Control. They've been treating residential and commercial firms with pest control for nearly 50 years, helping dangerous species. Call Cotton's Pest Control. Experience STEM learning for your child. Science, technology, engineering, and math. These learning programs are available at La Petite Daycare in Gonzales for infants to preschool. Discover a world of education. Diaz Auto Parts Gonzales is your Napa dealer. They have quality parts, accessories, paints, tools, and supplies. A complete line for cars, trucks, imports, marine, industrial, and farm equipment. They make hydraulic hoses. Diaz Auto Parts, your Napa dealer.
Gronyard's Furniture on Railroad Avenue in Donaldsonville has been backing area teams for over 60 years. For all your furniture and appliance needs, visit Gronyard's at 622 Railroad Avenue in Donaldsonville. Phone 473-8532.
Need help designing or remodeling your dream home? Ask SLC Development for a free quote on your dream home or remodeling project. Call Sue Behringer at 413-5491.
The shout-out week, of course, the big game Friday night, EA in Santa Ma on November the 2nd. That's Friday. But we got the shout-out the night before, and we've got special guest James LeBlanc, who wears a lot of hats in the parish, and now you're talking shout-out. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so, we're blessed. Over the last 10 years, this shout-out committee has been able to give East Ascension High School and Santa Ma High School $168,000 per year, per school. And I tell you, it's been a good ride. It's been a good committee. A lot of people working hard, and there's not a finer rivalry in the state of Louisiana when it comes to East Ascension and Santa Ma.
Of course, it all started off with the week with the golf tournament, which has been concluded last week. And
that's right.
And then you've got this, and there's a lot of other things going on.
Oh yeah, they do. They do all week long. They do. Of course, the golf tournament is over with now, but they do. They collect food for the needy. They do flag football. They do frisbee throws. They do the shout-out event, which will take place, on November 1st, and then all of a sudden the big game on November 2nd on Burnside, which is the rivalry of the state of Louisiana.
It's a Super Bowl for the
Super Bowl. That's right. It's almost a Super Bowl for the state. I mean, I've been around for a long time, and I can't really find anybody that can tell me any rivalry bigger than this one right here.
Well, it's going to be EA in Santa Ma Friday night, the rivalry game, which we've talked about with the coaches and so on. But how did you get involved with all this? Because you're an EA guy.
I mean, yeah, so I played 4 years. I played 82, 83, 84, 85 for East Ascension. Matter of fact, I was on the only undefeated team for East Ascension back in 1982, whenever they had some outstanding players. So I've been fortunate to be able to play 4 years for East Ascension, and I've been fortunate to be on my 13th year now as the Booster Club president for the Gators. People say, man, how in the world can you do that? I say, man, look, parents got to do what their kids do, So all my kids went to Santa Ma, and of course I went to East Ascension. But that's what makes this thing so great. That's what makes this rivalry so great. You got parents that went to East Ascension, you got kids that go to Santa Ma, and it's just a great, great rivalry. But I don't want people to lose focus of the number one thing. You know, it's a friendship thing, it's a fellowship thing, but the biggest thing is raising money for these two schools.
I get a kick out of watching some college football games on TV, and even in the pros it'll happen, but they'll show a shot maybe of a husband, wife, or a boyfriend, girlfriend. One's wearing the hat.
That's right.
Shirt of one team and sitting right next to one.
Oh, I can't tell you how many East Ascension Santa Mall shirts are combined together into one. You know, but again, it's a big week. I've said it on a couple of shows that we've done over the last 10 years. We actually call it Hell Week because it's something to do every single night, and not a whole lot of people sleep during that week. People are guarding their houses for the toilet paper rolls, and it's just a great time in Ascension Parish.
Brubacher's Grill at 909 East Ascension Street in Gonzales, where good food and good friends come together. Offering a casual, fun atmosphere with a menu selection to satisfy the whole family. From pizzas, burgers, and po' boys to steaks, seafood, and salads with daily lunch specials and a whole lot more. Bring the whole family or meet friends on the deck. There's fun and entertainment for all. Make Brubacher's your next stop for lunch or dinner, and check out the other 5 locations in Baton Rouge. Taste a great tradition at Brubacher's Grill, where some things only get better.
Former LSU coach Butch Pierre has written a new book. It's called Growing Up Great. Besides coaching, it includes life lessons learned. Growing Up Great makes a great gift this upcoming holiday season. Go to ButchPierre.com to find out more. If it's glass you need, you can depend on Airline Glass and Upholstery, 724 Airline Highway, Gonzales. They've been taking care of your glass and upholstery needs since 1972. Give Stephen or Tanya a call today at 647-1040. Pot and Paddle Jambalaya Kitchen, with 3 locations offering daily lunch specials, is one of our newest sponsors. Pot and Paddle for dine-in, carry-out, and catering. A great place for lunch 7 days a week. Baton Rouge, Denham Springs, and here in Gonzales on Cabela's Parkway. Check them out online at potandpaddle.com. Tony Bacala is proud to be your representative serving District 59. Best wishes, Gators, Spartans, and Griffins. Good luck in the playoffs. Here's hoping that you make it all the way to the Dome. This message from Representative Tony Bacala.
Clogged rain gutters have many damaging effects on your home. Debris will cause your gutter system to fail. Call Ascension Gutters and More. Professional craftsmanship. Over 20 colors to choose from. We do gutter installation and maintenance. Custom-made quality gutters to fit your budget. Custom fit downspouting as well. And customer satisfaction always. Call us at 225-647-0404.
Pookie Babin with LeBlanc Nissan is the man to see when shopping for your next new or pre-owned car. Come to the #1 dealership in the area, LeBlanc Nissan in Prairieville. Pookie says good luck to all Ascension Parish teams in the playoffs.
Welcome back to Colico Cafe. Once again, we're going to be talking now with a very special guest, Butch Pierre. Our special guest has a book called Growing Up Great, Life Lessons and Coaching, and this just came out in September, so it's really new and something great to pick up for Christmas, maybe for a gift or whatever. Congratulations, Coach, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you very
welcome
much.
Welcome back home again.
Yeah, it's great to be here, always.
Former Santa Mall High School All-American who went on to Mississippi State to play college basketball and has coached at LSU. You were there about a decade, I don't know, a good while, as an assistant, associate head coach, and even a head coach for an interim period.
Yes, 11 years, 11 fond memories, and my family practically grew at LSU.
Now, he has been with 5 college programs, and in your book, I didn't read the whole thing, but I did read parts, I have to admit, for the interview, that you said that you probably had the ability with the team that you had to win a national championship, but circumstances and things changed during the course of a season, but you really felt like every time you had a championship-type team.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to win, at least 10, 15 conference championships, and out of all those teams, it was 5 teams that I thought could win a national championship. It had all the ingredients in terms of great players and role guys, the right culture, and guys who can play at a high level and an elite level, and then just guys that just really bought in. And it was 2 at Southwest, one at Southwest Louisiana, and 2 at LSU, and actually 2 at Oklahoma State. And obviously the 2 at LSU was 2000 and 2006 with Stromar Swift was in 2000, and Glenn and Brandon Bass and all those guys, Garrett Temple at LSU, and obviously Marcus
all NBA players, by the way.
And obviously Marcus Smart from playing at the Boston Celtics now, and Markel Brown is from Peabody High School in Alexander. He was on that team, and he's in the NBA with the Houston Rockets, but that team also.
I want to get into the recruiting and things like that because you recruited some great players, no question about it. And the Stromile Swift story is really a good one. But let me go back to when you got the job. Tim Floyd's a good friend of mine. I did not realize that Tim Floyd had a big influence on you getting that job.
Yeah, obviously John had worked for Tim, and at UNO, and they were great friends throughout the coaching ranks, and had the basketball pedigree. And he was very close, and Tim and I had been in some recruiting wars, and I won most of them. and and sometimes you develop friendships along the way, and he just told John, hey, you need to hire Butch Pierre. He's the best, and one of the best in the business, one of the up-and-coming young coaches at that time, and particularly, a Louisiana guy.
And John Brady went along with it, and then you had a little bit of confrontation with John Brady, which is interesting. Stromile Swift, he didn't think you could get him.
Yeah, he did. And, all that's in the book. Obviously, everybody probably said, oh, okay, what's he going to say? What recruiting stories is he going to say? But that was one of my fond memories as far as an assistant basketball coach or coaching the profession, is recruiting Stromile and his family, his mom, who passed away. And he was unique because he was #1 player in high school, #1 player in the country. It could have went straight to the NBA at a high school. It was a special deal, at LSU at that time. We had to have him. And so John, in the book, obviously he didn't think we can get him because they had national championship coaches recruiting him at that time at high powerful schools, the top 5 programs in America, and we seemed to keep him at home. And as a matter of fact, I talked to Stromile last week, and he's still the same old Stromile. He's just Shreveport, and he took care of his money.
Well, that's outstanding, and it's a great story too to read about that. You learned a lot as a coach. There was a situation where one player maybe spent too much time or too much attention, not focused with the team, but maybe with his girlfriend. And then you had the same situation a year later with another player, the same situation, and you approached them both differently. You learned, I guess, how to approach the consequences, or not consequences, but the circumstances that you face as a coach.
Yeah, and it all goes back to life lessons and lessons that I learned, along the way. Growing up in a small town and having relationships. And at that time, when I was, the small town I was from was predominantly black, and
from Darrow.
And from Darrow, Louisiana. And one of my first coaches that's in the book, my coaching tree, was a guy by the name of Mr. Wetek, and the principal there, Mr. Bartley, actually brought him in, and it was one of the best things because, this guy who was an older white guy that everybody embraced in the community. And sometimes you got to see it from the other side, and the things that he shared with us, and we shared with him, and we got tight with him. All those relationships and those lessons along the way helped me. And not only that, just the relationships that I had throughout my whole career was for me to be able to deal with issues with players and families and single-parent moms and husband and wives and all those kind of things that race relations. It's just so much information that I had that I wanted to get out. But taking back to the question that you said, when that problem arose, I pretty much knew, how to handle it, how to help the player out, because at that time he wasn't playing at an elite level, and he didn't understand that it could be some distractions, and it was different issues, and it worked out.
And one thing he stresses, I might mention, is studying and making your grades. You can't help the team if you're not eligible to play. You've got to make those grades.
Yeah, that's important. That's very important. And my background, with my mom and my dad and my family and all that, it was important for me to get my education. And when I was at Sanoma, and that's in the book, I kind of slipped away on my grades a little because, I became an elite player. And when I got to college, I met another guy who's my mentor. His name is Dr. Robert Bolden. He was a professor. He took me under his wings and helped me get where I needed to go. But education is very important. It always have been. It's been important in my family. With my 5 kids, on the back of the book, I have my family. We actually have, 9 degrees between all 5 of us. Wow. 9 degrees. One of my sons has his master's, and my daughter have her master's in a specialist. I have my master's from Mississippi State. My wife graduated from Kentucky, and the other one graduated from Arkansas State. 5 different degrees from 5 different schools, but we have 9 of them, and that's how important education is. And I want to be able to share that value with people today, not only with players, but people that's here at home, and it starts right here in Ascension Parish.
You mentioned in your book as well about mentors and mentoring, and I get the feeling that more than coaching, mentoring is an important factor in your life, and having a mentor and doing that sort of thing.
You know, and that's very important. A lot of times in recruiting or young guys' lives, particularly single-parent kids, and even kids with moms and dad. And it don't matter what color you're in. You know, you're going to have mentors along the way. People are going to touch you. You know, you don't know. It may be the power of who. You know, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, and mentors are so important. You just got to be able to choose the right ones. And I benefit from it. People in my community, teachers at East Ascension High School and Sanamo, my pride and joy, and going through the ranks at Mississippi State along the way into the coaching profession. But mentors are very, very important. So, you know, I am one, and I always look for one, and I got a bunch of them in the business with Tubby Smith that won a national championship that I coached with last year. He's one of my biggest mentors, on somebody that I always try to emulate in terms of family and other people along the way.
I'm going to read a couple of excerpts here. One is an introduction. If you want to be successful, you must learn to work and perform at a high level under all circumstances. Learn from failure, stay focused, and embrace pressure. That's one thing from Butch Pierre. Another one that I want to mention is believe in yourself, never give up, stay focused, strive for greatness. Outstanding. It's a great book. It's a great read. And I didn't read the whole thing, but I'm going to. It's really a great book. You're living in Destin. How did the storm affect you? Did you have any problems with that?
Well, I had to go to Mobile, Alabama, obviously, and you know how storms are. Everybody get the traffic on the right side, and it worked out pretty good. You know, I had a couple of books get wet, and the water got high where I lived at, but it worked out okay. You know,
with Butch Pierre here is that he'll have a book signing in Darrow, his hometown, October 28th, 3 to 6 p.m. That'll be his first book signing. He plans another one at Sanamo later on. And you can also get the book through Amazon, and at the website butchpierre.com. And you can get hardback or soft.
Brubacher's Grill at 909 East Ascension Street in Gonzales, where good food and good friends come together, offering a casual, fun atmosphere with a menu selection to satisfy the whole family. From pizzas, burgers, and po' boys to steaks, seafood, and salads, with daily lunch specials and a whole lot more. Bring the whole family or meet friends on the deck. There's fun and entertainment for all. Make Brubacher's your next stop for lunch or dinner, and check out the other 5 locations in Baton Rouge. Taste a great tradition at Brubacher's Grill, where some things only get better.
The Ascension Parish Chemical Industry Care Group is as much a part of Ascension Parish as the Shout Out. The Care Group is proud to sponsor the Shout Out TV special. Have a safe shout out from the Ascension Parish Chemical Industry Care Group. Big O Tires is now open in Sanama. They offer tires, alignments, brakes, and oil changes. If it's got tires, we've got you covered. Stuck on the road? Call their 24/7 roadside assistance number, 445-3635. Big O Tires in Sanama. Are your brakes squeaking? Is your car sputtering? Take it to Rossi Automotive. Their computer diagnostic test will locate the problem, and they'll do the necessary repairs and get you back on the road at Rossi Automotive. French Settlement sausage is made with the freshest meats, onions, and spices and contains no MSG, additives, or fillers. It's a certified Cajun product. Ask for it by name at your favorite store. French Settlement sausage. It's that good, yeah.
That's going to wrap up our show this week from Rufino's. Hope you enjoyed it. Boy, we had a lot to talk about, didn't we? Playoffs coming up next, and that'll be next week. We'll see you then.